grouping. This is an example from developmental math, intermediate algebra. When you try to factor the trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c, you have two ways to factor. One way is in the previous video, I introduced FOIL method. FOIL method is easier when a is equal to 1. When a is not equal to 1, use grouping method will be easier. So the grouping method, some of the book is also called AC method because we're going to multiply A and C together and then multiply the A and C together to get a big number and then break down this number into two smaller numbers. These two smaller numbers multiplied will equal to the product of AC. Added together will equal to the middle term B. And then we will break down 3 items into 4 items. And that way we can put 2 and 2 together. So that's called grouping. If you have a common factor, we will factor the greatest common factor. That's the step 1. Always do this one. And after that, we will multiply A and C together. So that's why we call it AC method. Break down this product A times C into 2 numbers. The sum will equal to B. Okay, and then we're gonna write a middle term BX into 2 items, and then we can factor by grouping. So for example, ax squared minus 14x plus 5. A here is 8. C here is 5. So if A times C will equal to 40, I'm going to break down 40 into 2 numbers. These 2 numbers, number 1, number 2. So 2 numbers added together will equal to the negative 14. Since this one is positive, my middle term is negative. So that means we're gonna need to break down these 2 into 2 negative numbers. Negative times negative will equal to positive. Negative plus negative will equal to the negative. So we're gonna just try the negative number. And this one, we can break down into negative 40 and negative 1. The add them together, we'll get a negative 41. So this is not a good one for middle term. We can break down into negative 20 and negative 2. Added together, we are negative 22. That's not good. And we can also break down into negative 10 and negative 4. These 2 added together will equal to negative 14. So that's the right one. Once you find the right one, you can stop. You don't have to keep going, because otherwise we can break down this one into negative 5 and negative 8 again, right? So these 2 added together, it will get a negative 13. But again, once we find the correct combination, we don't have to keep trying. You don't have to try all of them. If you, the first one, have a little bit better number sense, sometimes you find the first one correct right away, okay? So we're gonna break down the negative 14x into negative 4x and negative 10x. So that is break down this product into 2 numbers. Remember, when we break down these 2, we still add up together, still equal to the left-hand side here. So left and right are still equal. The reason we want to break down this one, so we can put a 2 and 2 together, factor by grouping. So we will put the first 2 together, last 2 together, okay? And this first one, we have a common factor, which is 4x. So I break down the 4x out. Take the 4x out, I have a 2x minus 1. These 2, we have a common factor as 5. But I want the first one as positive, so I'm pulling out the negative 5 out. So when you pull out a negative 5 out, every term will become the opposite. So this one will be 2x minus 1 in here. Now we have a common factor, 2x minus 1. So we factor this one out and then multiply the rest of them, which is 4x minus 5. So it is done. So grouping method for A is not equal to 1. It is much easier. Next one. If you look at this one right here, they are all even number. So when we have an even number, they have a 2 in common. So we're going to factor out the common factor 2 first. So when we factor out the common factor 2, we got to pull 2 out. We got 3x squared minus x minus 10 in here. So A is 3, C is negative 10. So A times C is negative 30. And B here is negative 1 here. So that means I have a 2 number multiplied should be negative. That means 1 should be positive, 1 should be negative. And then add together will be negative 1. So that means my bigger number should be negative. My smaller number should be positive, right? So you add up together will be negative. So if you think of 5 times 6, the difference will be 1. And we're gonna make the 6 as a negative because 6 is bigger than 5. So negative 6x plus 5x, we're giving you negative x. So that is separate into 4 items. After you separate into 4 items, put a 2 and 2 together by grouping. So put the first 2 together, last 2 together. And then these 2, you have a common factor as 3x. So times x minus 2, these 2, you have a common factor as 5. X minus 2, so now you have both have a common factor, x minus 2, pull it up and multiply 3x plus 5, and it is done. So grouping for A is not equal to 1, it is much easier. Okay, look at this one right here, factor by grouping. So these are all positive. If you look at this one right here, B and C both are positive. So we're gonna factor into positive number only. So A is 2, B is 9, C is 4. So A times C will be 8. B is 9, so that means I break down into 2 numbers, positive, right? And these 2 numbers added together should be 9. So if you think of 1 and 8, 1 plus 8 will equal to 9. And 1 times 8 is 8. So we will break down this 9x into 1x plus ax. So break down this one into 1x plus ax, that equal to 9x in here. After you break down this one, you will do the grouping, 2 and 2 together, grouping. So these 2, you have a common factor as x times 2x plus 1. These 2, you have a common factor as 4. Pull out 4, so you cannot using ax divided by 4, you got 2x, right? And then 4 divided by 4, you got 1. So that's how you pull out, factor it out. Now you have a 2x plus 1 in common, so you pull out 2x plus 1 times the rest of here will be x plus 4, okay? And you can using the FOIL check this one back to see if you got an original trinomial. If you got it, you got the right answer. So that's the FOIL checking. 2x times x, you got an x squared. 2x times 4, you got ax. 1 times x, you got 1x. 1 times 4, you got 4. And then combine these 2 together, so you check it back, you got the original trinomial. That is correct.